It may appear to you to be a little melodramatic, and yeah, I have to admit, maybe I'm having a little fun with it. But seriously, I bought these shoes 7 years ago, and this was while I was still in bed. I'm coming to the end of my 2.5 year in bed experience and all the things that I went through. Told I was going to die, but through that time, I was convinced that I was not going to, and I was planning where I was going to be going to go, where I was going to go after that. And so part of the planning was I'm going to need shoes. So I bought a pair of nice leather boots. I bought a pair of tie-up sneakers. I bought a pair of slip-on boat shoes, tennis shoes. I bought a nice pair of dress shoes, and I bought a knock-around pair of leather slide-on shoes. Well, turned out that my favorite pair were the Levi slip-on shoes. These shoes went with me to so many places as I walked and walked and walked. I was in these shoes that first 6, 7, 8 months when I couldn't walk, and I was going out and trying. Yay, I walked a block. Yay, I got to 2 blocks. Wow, I got to 3 blocks. Constantly pulling muscles. Because if you don't know, when you lay in bed for any period of time, 2.5 years is a long period of time. Your muscles atrophy. Basically, you turn into a blob of jello. And when you do start walking again, everything goes wrong. Everything's tweaked and pulled, and it's extremely painful. So you go out and walk a couple blocks, you pull things, you go back, you put icy hot, you wrap it up, you're crippled for about 3 days, then you start all over again. And I went through that for about 6, 7, 8 months, something like that. One day I was in Azogues and I started walking, and I walked and walked. I ended up walking 3.5 hours. It was a huge breakthrough for me. Extremely happy, and I was in these shoes. I want to quickly name, as quick as I can, places I've been. Now, there are places I'm not going to list here. They're not going to show up because I was wearing other shoes. But these were my go-to shoes, and I remember when I wore these shoes, believe it or not. So let me tell you the places that I went, not passed through, but these are places that I actually went to and walked around. Here we go. Quito, about 9 times. Cuenca, of course, I lived there for 2 years, covered every inch of it. Azogues, about 8 times. San Bartolomé, a couple times. Ona, Saragullo, Loja, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Vilcabamba, at least 4 times. Giron, I lived there for a year, walked all over the place there. San Fernando, Santa Isabel, Machala, once was enough. Huaguilla, Tumbas in Peru, the in the Cajas, of course, Guayaquil, Punta Blancos, Salinas, Paute, I think 3, 4 times. Gualaceo, I know at least 4 times. Sig Sig a couple times. Riobamba, I got, I think about 8 times. Let me leave the times off. Ambato, Quito, again, I mentioned that. Otavalo, Cotacachi, Ibarra, Tulcan, oh my God, 16 times, I don't know. Ipiales, similar. Crossed that border so many times, and it's going and back. And those are all walking. If you ever crossed, you know you do a lot of walking. All right, let's keep going. Now we're in Colombia. Pasto, El Bordo, Popayan, Cali. Oh, a place I don't like, but I've been there way more than a dozen times to walk around. Palmira, Cordoba, Pijao, Buenavista, El Idan, La Tabaida, Armenia. Of course, I've lived here for 3 years, plus when I lived here before. Calarca, Circasia, Salento, Cocora, Finlandia, Quimbayo, Palermo, Montenegro, Las Cruces, Cajamarca, Ibague, Pereira. Oh, I don't know. Zillions. Manizales, I lived there for 3 months. You can see all these things you can see in videos. Villa Maria, Vida Maria, Honda, nice little town from Manizales to Bogota, or from Ibagué to Bucaramanga. Very interesting place. Buses would stop for a couple hours, and I would explore. Bogota, of course, a bunch of times. Florida Blanco and Bucaramanga. That's in these shoes. These shoes have done and seen unmentionable things. Even when we were on the run, I was wearing these shoes. So I got to say farewell to these shoes. There's just nothing left. The soles are so thin that if you step on a little pebble, it hurts your foot. So farewell to these shoes. I certainly wish I had another pair like this. I don't know where to find these exact shoes, but to put literally thousands and thousands of miles on this pair of shoes, these Levi's, tremendous service. Goodbye. Farewell, old friend.
Oh.